Hey everybody, Jabman025 here. Today I'm taking a look at my 87th Master Grade, the Duel Gundam Assault Shroud. This is the first in a line of the Gundam Seed Master Grades we're going to see. We already had the Strike way back when, but we're going to be getting the Duel, the Buster, the Blitz, and the Aegis in the future, and they're starting us off with the Duel. Now I was curious, will this be rehashing the Strike frame? And the answer is no. This is a brand new frame. See, MG1100 Seed X Armor. That being said, when you're building it, this seems very familiar because it is very, very similar to the Strike frame. But technically it is a new frame. You can see the shoulders look very similar to the Strike. Waist and the way it's set up. Truthfully, because the Strike, the Buster, and the Blitz were all actually based on the Duel. According to Gundam Seed lore, the Duel was actually the first Gundam made, and the rest were based off that. And you see Izak in there. You have two latches here. The bottom latch closes shut, and the top latch slides shut to put in the cockpit. See some bad nubs there under the shoulders. The Strike was known for having a lot of bad nubs. There are still some bad nubs on this kit, I'm not going to lie. I will say the number's been reduced from the Strike, so not quite as bad. But excellent movement on the shoulders. Bends anywhere you like. This kit has a superb waist section, front to back, big side-to-side movement. So lots of posing options with this guy. Thrusters on the back. You get 4 individual thrusters, and each one is independent. So you can shift it up or down wherever you want. And like I said, they are not linked together, so you want to move one, you can move just one if you want. The arms, again, here's what I was talking about. This is a new frame, but boy, it seems similar because it looks a lot like the Strike's frame. And with a Strike arm in this case, it looks just like the Strike's arm. It's not, though. But still, nice big bend, looks good. For those of you who did not like the interchangeable fingers from the wing kits, too bad, they're back. Interchangeable fingers. You get the curved hand with the tooth in the middle still. You get the fist. You get the wide open hand. And you get a new one this time, a trigger finger. It says one finger extended for holding the gun, obviously. And this too also has a tooth in there. You can see it in there. That's going to hook into the gun. That's how it's going to hold it. And that looks pretty cool. Here's the upper half of the kit. Again, the shoulders, very similar to Strike. They look kind of big and bulky, and they look like they would get in the way, but they really don't. No real problems with the shoulders getting in the way of posability. You can see shoulders, elbows, big bend anywhere you want, no problems. Like I said, this is a lot tighter kit than the Strike was. Strike could be a little loose at times, but no such problem here. Legs, big bend out of the knees, bend at the feet. It has a really neat hinge system for the kneecap, so it'll move with the leg, and that's really cool looking. Again, a little bit more lining, but not a ton. Ankles are excellent on this kit. Big range of motion, and they're not too loose or too tight. The hips on this kit are variable hips. You can see they will move to 2 different positions as you see fit. And here you see the main body all complete. And looks pretty good. Like I said, Strike had a lot of bad nubs. This has some bad nubs, but nowhere near as many. Decals on this kit are a high selling point. I really like all the decals they gave you because they can be big, like you see the gray on gray, but they can't be huge and over the top. And they don't stand out like a sore thumb as some do. You do have like these orange bands on the leg and the wrist, which is a little overkill, but for the most part I like this gray on gray look, or you can only tell them if you're looking at them real close. Do have a few dry transfers. We have this one neat decal here on the leg. That's kind of neat. Now, in terms of accessories on this kit, we have the 2 beam sabers back here on the backpack. These just pop right on a plug there. 2 clear red blades, standard. And this is the one place you're going to use this one hand with a tooth in it. The only thing you're going to use this for is holding the beam saber, which it does a good job of. No problems. Won't drop it. No issues. Take it all you like. It ain't dropping it. Next step is the shield. Look familiar? This is almost identical to the strike shield except for a color swap. See, it has a plug into the arm and a handle, but truthfully you don't even really need the handle. You see, I don't even have any fingers on it at all. Plug puts it in there, no problems. Holding it with just the handle is a little tricky, so basically you're going to have it plugged into the arm at all times. That's all you can use it for. Beam rifle. You may look at this and go, hey, that looks familiar. Isn't that the same beam rifle the Strike Noir had? Sort of. You can see here's the Strike Noir. Looks very similar, but not identical. Same basic design, but a few design tweaks. This is where you're going to use that trigger finger hand. You're going to plug it right onto the gun there, and then plug that into the hand. Hold it, no problems whatsoever. No weight issues. Shake it, rattle it, roll it, and dropping it. No problem. Next we come to the bazooka. Now this bazooka was never actually used in the anime, but if you read the manga, this thing popped up when the Gold Stray frame, the one-armed bandit, had it. So apparently Duel lost it, and Gold Stray picked it up. Holding this thing, not a problem. You see, it hangs on to it, but it's kind of resting on the shoulder, and it is a little tricky, so that's good, but not great on this particular weapon, but it still looks pretty cool. And it's got some very nice decals on this bazooka as well. And here you see all decaled up and ready to roll. Now if we stopped here, I'd say this is a very good kit. Probably not a contender for Kit of the Year though. However, we're not done. We also get the Assault Shroud armor with this particular kit. Starting off with the chest armor. I do like the blue and gray, and I do kind of get a sense this is a different design than the actual Duel, because you got to remember the Duel was designed by the Federation. The armor was designed by Zaft. And here you see a little slot opens up, and yes, you can open both of these slots open, so you can see Izak in there, but it is exceedingly tricky to do. So you're probably going to do it once to see what it looks like and never do it again. Right, you close that latch, you close that latch, and you close the top. Everything clicks into place and it holds there, no problem. And you may be asking, how is this armor being held on? Well, there's a couple latches on the top. You're going to put the chest armor on, then you're going to latch the shoulder sections on. You have these bonus thrusters. These thrusters are going to go on top of the backpack that's already on there with the thrusters. As so. These don't really hook into anything. They just kind of slide right over the top of the thrusters that are already there. And it does a pretty decent job of it. Occasionally, if you're moving around too much, these will be knocked off, but it's not a big problem to put them right back on again. Shoulders. They latch right on top of the shoulders that are already there. No problem. On the right shoulder, you have this extra cannon, which you can remove and hold if you want, but I personally like it on the shoulder. It's on a pivot, so it'll move up, down, all the way around, anywhere you want it. And that's pretty cool. The other left shoulder has a missile pack on the top. And you can open the front latch to reveal 5 missiles in there, and that's kind of neat. And getting that latch open is a little tricky. Now the skirt armor. This is where things get a little tricky on this kit. What the skirt armor is going to do is going to have these 2 latches up here at the top that are supposed to latch into these sections here on the Gundam. On the back skirt armor, it works fine, no problem. It just latches right on, you'll never have a problem again. On the front, well, here's where we come into the big problem of this kit. It doesn't want to latch on in the least. You can see it holds on there all right, but one little bump, even just looking at it funny, and it's going to fall off. You will find yourself knocking this skirt armor off a ton. For me, in fact, I just switched it out and used some tacky putty to hold it in place. Leg armor, you have these thrusters move out. You have this ankle armor that moves just a little bit. And this is just going to slap right onto the side of the leg and hook into place. No problem here. And you get the guy all standing up. This doesn't really create any weight issues. I was kind of worried, would it be back heavy or anything? No, not a problem. No issues whatsoever. You also get decals for the armor as well. A lot of dry transfers on this one, and a few of them can be a little tricky, especially on that skirt armor again. They do give you a lot of bonus decals on this particular guy. They give you decals if you want to make this the Federation version, obviously without the armor pack. But they give you lots of ZAF decals, lots of decals all over this guy. Again, that orange stripe on the wrist, some decals on the gun. Actually, really nice accent decals. I'm really, really, really happy with the decals on this kit. They made an accent to the kit, but they didn't overwhelm it. Putting them on an action base isn't a problem. In terms of posability, the wrists are a little hampered by that extra armor, as are the shoulders. Not quite as good a posability as without the armor. Legs aren't a problem. You can do anything you want with that, and same with the hips. And you can still attach the shield, hold anything on you want, but it does make things a little trickier. As in terms of the action-based connection, no problem at all. Rock solid. You can see I can pick it up and hold it by the action base, by the Gundam, shake it, rattle it, not a problem. The only way it's coming off if you're specifically going to take it off, so no problem there. And that looks pretty cool. Final thoughts on this kit. Granted, this is only the second kit of the year, but this is your new leader for kit of the year. There is one big glaring problem with this kit, and that's that front skirt armor. It just doesn't want to attach in the least. If not for that, this would be a high contender for overall kit of the year. Like, ooh, this would be tough to beat. That one glaring problem makes you go, somebody might be able to beat this with another kit. We'll see. But either way, if you're a fan of the Seed franchise, or if you're a fan of the Duel and you're thinking about this, thumbs up, good kit, pick it up. Well, gang, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review. Hope you found it informative. If you got any questions, please ask them. I'll answer them as best I can. Please stay tuned for more. I always got more reviews coming. And thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time with another review. Oh, and one more thing. We have a duel using our game. You hear me? We want a duel with you guys. A duel! A duel! And with this duel, we will bring an end to the SOS Brigade's reign of terror over the school. Do you hear me? A duel!